Notice writing. We all know notice is a means of communication. Notice, it helps you communicate your message to a large crowd simultaneously. So the CBSE format that is followed for notice is as follows. First of all, a block for notice writing is mandatory. So the block that is shown on the screen, this is something that you have to make compulsorily. Then the first line of the notice contains the name of the organization. Second line contains the date that is aligned to the left side of the block, and aligned in the center would be the word notice. Then in the next line we would write the heading for our notice. Then we can start with the body of our notice, followed by the subscription. The subscription, it includes the name of the person who has issued the notice along with its designation. So this is the general format of a notice that is followed for notice writing. If the body of the notice is concerned, generally there are 5 types of notices that we deal with. The first one being about events. So in events, we have to be careful about what type of things we include in our notice. The must and mandatory things that we have to include in the body of the notice for an event, in that case we'll write who is the notice for, another thing, what is the purpose of the event, is there any deadline that is required, whom to contact, date, time and venue of the event, and maybe if there is any sort of additional information that also can be added to our body of the notice. So we can add additional information as well. The second type of notice is for meetings. Content of the notice for a meeting includes who is the notice for, what is the agenda of the meeting or the purpose of the meeting, and of course the date, time and venue of the meeting. The third type of notices are generally drafted for lost and found. In case of lost and found, there are a lot of information that we have to add to our notice. First of them being details of the item that is lost or found. Second, the date, the time and the place where the item was lost. The third thing would be whom to contact and with the contact details. And a very crucial thing, if in case of a lost notice, then we have to mention rewards as well. The fourth type of notice is for tours and camps. So the very important thing about tours and camps is for whom is the notice, drafted for. The second is the destination point of the camp or the tour. The third would be the duration of the camp. The fourth being mode of travel as well as accommodation. The charges that are associated plus the last date of deposition. A very important thing to mention is permission letter, and last but not the least, contact information of the person who is in charge of the registration process. So contact information for the person. And the last type of notices, that is generally drafted is to make an appeal. So to make an appeal, the first thing we have to mention in our notice is who is the notice for. The second thing you have to mention is what is urgently required. Also, in the case of urgently required, you can also mention for whom it is and why it is needed. So these are the things that you have to mention. Apart from this, we also have to mention how to send or give the requirements. And the last one is, of course, the contact details, whom to contact, where to contact, and when to contact. So these are the general 5 types of notices that are generally drafted in any organization. Another thing that we have to take care about writing notices is the date. Well, every date format is not appreciated by CBSE. Hence, there are various ways of writing, as we all know. If let's say I have to write the date 25th of April 2011. So in that case, I would write 25-4-11. That is one way of writing. Another way could be 25/4/11. There are another ways as well, like 25th April 2011. Similarly, we can also write 25th April 2011. But because there are so many formats, CBSE has only fixed their focus to certain date formats that are correct. So let's discuss what are the correct date forms according to the CBSE syllabus. So the correct date formats that we will discuss are as follows. We have to be careful when we write the date because short forms for months are not appreciated by CBSE. So if in case I'm writing April, then instead of writing just APR for April, I would have to write the whole spelling of the month April, that is APRIL. So if in case I'm writing a date, then I will write it like this. There is another thing that we have to take care about, the TH that we write in our date. The TH is never to the power of 25. It is always aligned to the same alignment in which we write our letters in alphabets. Another way of writing date is where I can avoid the TH. Another way is where I write the month first and then I write then I write the date, and then I write the year. There is another way is, sometimes also we write, so these X represent that we are not specifying which year are we talking about. Since this is also accepted by CBSE, it is preferable by students to write X in place of the last 2 digits of an year. So these are the different formats in which you can write the date, but the other side, that is 25-4-11 or 25/4/11 or other ways that are mentioned below are not at all accepted by CBSE. Moreover, if we see the first 3 lines of our notice, then these 3 lines are generally written in block letters. And the body of the notice is written in running handwriting. The name is given to us most of the time in the question, but it should never be your own name. So we have to be sure that it is not our own name. If in case you are a student, then we have to mention that we are a student, and also we have to mention the class we belong to.